Well, it seems as if institutions are loading back up on AMC the way they were back after the sell-off in June of 2021. What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Today we have a lot of stuff to go over with AMC, GameStop, Ape, and something that could potentially happen going into the weekend. So make sure to watch until the end of the video so you don't have to watch another update video here on YouTube. I'm going to update you on everything that there is to update you on. So without further ado, please hit the like button. It's free. It helps me out. It pushes the video out to more apes like you guys. Also hit that subscribe button. We are just brushing 15,000 subscribers. Let's get into the video. So institutions are adding more onto AMC even though there really aren't any shares to buy. So is this just to loan out more shares to save short sellers and to double down on the play? Because we have seen time and time again the short interest rising in AMC, coming up on about 30%, sitting at 29.39% according to Ortex. Utilization right under 80%. Shares on loan 183 million. Now, of course, this data isn't completely accurate, but it does give us an idea in the trend as to where the short interest is going. It's probably well over thousands of percentages of short interest. The float shorted time and time again, but this gives us a trend deviation to see if shorts are adding on or attempting to at least lower their position. Cost to borrow average for AMC 320% for an average and for a max. So again, that huge drop is still there, but does that mean that they just tricked brokers into thinking that there are more shares, making it less risky to borrow? The short interest on Ape rose once again, sitting at 18.34% and utilization at 87%. So the data for Ape is looking worse than the data for AMC. In the back of your head, you would think, okay, as a short seller, the reason this is happening is they're shorting Ape because the conversion is going to get rejected by Judge Zern, which is something that we're going to talk about going into the weekend. However, that doesn't seem necessarily like the case. So why are they doubling down shorts on Ape? Now, before we move on, cost to borrow on Ape is still sitting very low, right around 6%. So they're shorting Ape. Utilization is rising, but the cost to borrow is still dropping, meaning it's not risky to borrow Ape. Why wouldn't it be risky when we know that there's a potential catalyst right around the corner that can drop at any given time, and already 77 million shares are out on loan? Now, today, the short sale restriction is on for AMC because it dropped it down at least 10% yesterday. So that's on for today. It doesn't mean much. We've saw time and time again that the corruption still occurs. This just means that they can't short on downticks, thus necessarily adding short ladder attacks on the stock, but we already see it time and time again. We kicked the day with cost to borrow average at 320%, and we have been on the threshold securities list for 25 consecutive days. Now, this is all important going into the weekend. Max Pain is sitting at $6, 151 million shares short for AMC and 94.5 million shares short on Ape. Now, there's a couple things I wanted to touch on. AMC is currently trading at $4.56, up 0.77% on the day, so trading exactly sideways. However, it is building support on this ascending trend line that we have drawn out. I just made it yellow, so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. We're building support off of that, and if you take a look at the earnings cycles that we track, I've realized that this is to the T how AMC is playing out. I'm surprised we missed this on that 100% gain. You saw the rip right here in the cycle and then a drop right here, which means if this were to play out the cycle, AMC would scale back up over next week and the week after, right? Which perfectly lines up with AMC earnings on August 8th, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I do have to look into that. But next week, sometime next week, AMC earnings, this lines up perfectly. Hopefully we do have a positive earnings that causes AMC to scale up following this cycle and then scale back down coming into September if the cycle does play out. Now, we're more than likely going to get an answer on the catalyst, which this is going to be completely invalidated. I just want to point out the reason it pumped and is selling off is because we're tracking the exactly to a T what's happening with the cycle, with the earnings cycles. And we saw it time and time again. Each time one of these cycles hits this point, it gaps up and it follows the exact same way. Now, on top of that, short exempts still extremely crazy, from 2.6 million to 1.4 to 800,000 to 900,000. They are still loading short exempts, matching the volume so that AMC's price does not move. You might get aggravated and agitated as to why AMC isn't moving. Are apes selling with you? Are apes not buying the way you're buying and holding the way you're holding? Absolutely not. Market makers are just matching the buy volume with these fake shares so the price does not move. In fact, so the price moves downwards. Now, this is what I wanted to bring up. There may be a response from Judge Zern tonight after hours or sometime during the weekend or before the market opens on Monday. Therefore, puts or calls on AMC. This is a degen bet. It's a risky bet. I want to let you know right now, if Zern comes out and says the conversion reverse split is going to go through, that is going to probably put a negative impact temporarily on AMC's price action and a positive one on APE. Therefore, betting puts through the weekend isn't a bad idea. And no, you're not going against the community at all by betting puts. What's actually happening is you're taking money away from market makers like Citadel and Virtu, which we're going to talk about a little bit at the end of the video. Speaking of Citadel and Virtu, I entered puts. If you want to know my trades as soon as I take them, join the Discord. The link is right under the video. Again, very, very risky. Some people in Discord are betting calls, so it could go either way, or we could just not get a response at all. Now, GameStop announces resignation of CFO. And speaking of GameStop, I wanted to touch a little bit on the chart. It's trading at $22.28, trading sideways just like AMC, but it's looking a lot better. AMC flagged out, GameStop flagged out, except AMC broke to the downside and GameStop is still flagging out. We want to see where this goes, but I do think GameStop is going to have the rip that it did not get yet, that a ton of other small cap plays got. I'm still sitting on GameStop. I think it's going to come out of nowhere, so having calls on GameStop is not a horrible idea. Just make sure they are not too close. Again, nothing I say is financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. Now let's get into the spicy stuff. The S&P 500, what are you doing? 456.51, up 0.89% on the day. Rate hikes hit. You have this big, huge candle that came all the way up to 460, all the way down to 452 in the same exact day. So an $8 swing on the SPY is absolutely nuts. SPY broke below this extreme bullish line that we have tracking the S&P 500. Even if it breaks below, it's still in a bull trend. It just means it's not on its rampage run. And it came back up, tested it, and got rejected. So the SPY is sitting here. You're either going to see a break over that and the SPY keep ripping, or a cool off, which in my opinion is more likely, especially with what's happening with the S&P 500. You're seeing a ton of resistance at where it's at. Institutions betting bearish on the SPY, so something is around the corner. 35,000 put contracts right above that 456 level, as well as 48,000 right now. And once those go through, once those are exercised, the SPY is going to take a little bit of sell off, probably into after hours. And then you're seeing a ton of support way down here, right around 420 on the SPY. And even if you take a look at the trends, you are seeing massive net outflows on the S&P 500 for the end of July. Millions and millions in outflows on the SPY. Something big could be coming around the corner with the S&P 500. Now, if you guys do want to see the full open interest on the SPY, the trend deviation on the SPY, the inflows and outflows, where it's going, the key levels, and adjusting the time frames, make sure to press my link pinned in the top of comments and in the top of the description. Go sign up for Visual Sector's website. You can do this with almost any given ticker, and they have a 72% win rate. So really, if you're having trouble upping your options game, make sure to go check them out. Thank you guys for sponsoring today's video. Plus, touching on the SPY, chief investment strategist for Bank of America has said that the jump in the market represents, in quotes, a big rally before a big collapse. What do you guys think about this in the comments down below? Also, the 10-year Japanese government bond yield has hit its highest level in almost 9 years, and the Bank of Japan has eased controls on its government bond market. This is going to get wild. Are you guys trading the S&P 500, and are you bearish or bullish on the overall stock market? To close out the video, we've touched on this before, but it's good to point out since we touched a little bit on Citadel. Virtu and Citadel Securities, major traders experienced declines in their trading income. Virtu reported a 23% drop in net trading income for the 3 months ending in June compared to the previous year. Meanwhile, Citadel Securities saw a 35% decline in trading revenue for the first half of the year, and their profits were reportedly down by approximately 60% during the same period. This is for Citadel, this is for Ken Griffin, this is for Virtu, this is for all the corrupt bastards shorting AMC into the floor. This is for Goldman Sachs, and you guys can drop it in the comments and drop a list with your finger as well. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Make sure to pop in the Discord. The link is right under the video. You can talk with me on the daily. I'm seeing we're getting a ton of new members. It's going to be interesting, the plays that we have going into the weekend. We post our gains, post our losses, talk stocks all day long. So whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, this is a place for you guys. Plus, I'm in there on the daily, and the vibes are just right in the Discord. Also, guys, if you want to start on a brand new broker with $50 free to start trading or long-term investing, as well as free stocks that you can sell or hold on to for trading or long-term investing, use my link, download Moomoo, make a deposit. It takes 2 minutes out of your day, plus you get free access to level 2 order book data so you can see where whales are loading up and dropping off, access to a customizable earnings calendar, trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and more. Guys, make sure to go do that. The link is right under the video as well as pinned in the top of comments. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.